there, it's Shelly from Rocking the Playroom, and I just want to share a little bit about this tool that I've discovered that many people would already know about. It's called Seesaw, and it is a way of keeping a digital portfolio for your kids. Now, this is mainly used in mainstream schooling, in formal schooling, but I am using it in my homeschooling, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's helping me to embrace play, learning through play with my kids, to also just relinquish a little bit of the control, whilst then also having a structure and also having a way of recording what my kids have been doing. So I'm going to show you how I use Seesaw in my homeschool, and how you can get started is you can just go to web.seesaw.me and go and sign up there. When you do sign up, I'll just see if I can take you to the first page here. I'm already signed up. So you're going to want to sign up as a teacher. So you're going to say that I'm a teacher, not a family member. The way Seesaw works is it has two different apps, one for teachers and students, and then another different app for family members like parents and guardians and grandparents who are going to be observing the children's work and actually looking at their portfolios. So you want to sign up as a teacher. So I'm going to go and create an account here to use for this demo, and you would do the same to go and create an account. Right, so once you've created your login and set a password, you'll get to this point where you can create your class. So you're going to name your class. I'm going to call mine the Safari class. And then you can choose your grade. Now, if you are just educating one sort of set of learners, if you're a teacher doing all grade 1, then you would select as such. This just helps you choose your activities. However, for me, who is a homeschooling mom, I would choose other because I've got 2 kids at different age levels. So, you know, the safest bet is to choose other. Otherwise, if you've got all the same year group, you can choose as such. And then just click the tick box. Right, so here we go. This is like the initial screen, and you can go and have a look at the video that they've got there. And they've got like a bit of an onboarding process here to go and have a look through Seesaw's tool. So let's go and have a look at my class that I've got set up. So what I've done is I've set up a sample class called the Safari class, and I am the teacher of this class. Now you'll see that you can create multiple different classes, but in general you'll just have your one class, and then you can link that class to a school. I think it wants you to do that. So if you've got a homeschool, you can just make up a name for your school, and don't like put your address or anything because it does seem to be like public. So you want to just create a name for your school that you like. Class. Now, just by the way, on my phone, I keep getting this popping up even though I have students in my class. So I am going to add students right here when they're asking me to do it. And let's go and add some students to the class. So they ask you, do you want students to sign into Seesaw using their Google account or email address? I would say no. There's another way of getting kids to sign in on their devices. But for me as a homeschooling mom, I just take the photos on my phone and upload them on behalf of my kids. Or I will film my kids doing things and then I'll upload it. So I'm the main person who uploads things. If you want them to use their own devices, that's still fine to say no here. So I think it's fine to just say no. And then here, you can just say that they've got one-on-one devices. Is fine. So let's go and have a look now at these 4 different sort of parts of Seesaw. You're mainly going to be sticking around here in the journal section. So the journal, you can then go and use these as sort of search terms. So because it's a Safari class, I have named them all after animals. So we can go and see, okay, what has elephant done? And so there you'll see all of the items for elephants. So we clicked on elephants, and just by the way, it's a bit of a bug. They've got this ads students thing that keeps popping up, I have not found a way to get rid of that. So there's something that both elephants and hyena did together, was that they talked about the importance of hand washing and then went and washed their hands, saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once I caught a fish alive, twice. So here, what they've done is they've actually uploaded a video that you can play through like that, and you can see evidence of their learning there. All right, so pause that. So once you've uploaded different examples of the students' work, this is what you will be able to see. So you can see the whole class journal to see what the whole class has done there, all the different kiddos. So this is lion, and then this is elephants and hyena, and then lion did some tambourine playing, and then the whole class did like a thing on daisies, that sort of thing. Okay, so there you can see the whole thing. You see this thing keeps popping up. So just click on and it seems to go away. Right, so then you will have activities, and that's where you will assign the kids' activities. Your inbox is where you receive your notifications and any communication from what would be the children's families, but it could be granny and grandpa. And then skills is part of their premium offering. So if you want to, I've managed so far to stick to just the free offering. Thank you, Seesaw. So you don't need to use skills just yet, but you can go and have a look at it and see. I'll show you how I use folders to tag my kids' work and just keep it organized. So let's go and have a look here in Journal. And by the way, I'm showing you on desktop just because it's easier to demo, but this works beautifully on my phone. I mainly use it on my phone. So what we're going to do is Journal, if you can think about it, is you're recording learning in the moment and after the fact. And activities is you are like setting an activity for your kids to do that day. So that's the activities is before the fact. So your journal is what they are currently doing and what you're reporting back on what they've done in the past. So what we're going to do is we're going to say add, and then this is my usual workflow is post student work. Then what you can do is you can take a photo of their work. So again, this works beautifully on your phone. You just take the photo straight into Seesaw. Take a photo of the drawing that they did, or if they are playing in the sand pits or climbing a tree or whatever they are just currently doing, you can just take a photo and have it straight into Seesaw. However, what I do find I do is take just a photo on my phone, on my camera roll, and then I come and upload it later in the day. And that's when you would use this upload button. So if you've got the photo on your phone and then you're going to upload it later. This one you need to kind of be in the app and you do it straight away. But what this also works well with is drawings. So my son does drawings, and then at the end of the day I just go and take photos of all the drawings. It works better like this rather than going through my camera roll. Okay, this drawing is like a little drawing editor that they've got as part of the program. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'll show you now. You can kind of add to your photos and annotate things. I'm not a fan of it like for drawing's sake. I prefer that the kids do drawing with physical media. But I'll show you how you can annotate photographs that the kids have done, or perhaps you give them a diagram of something that they have to label. Then you can also take a video. You can also link to work that they've maybe posted on the web somewhere or something like that. And then you can also post a note. So maybe they want to type out an essay or something like that for older learners. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload a photograph. So I'm going to just grab it from my computer in this instance. And we can maybe go and say, all right, let's say we've got this beautiful picture that somebody drew. We can open it. So here, it's like scanned onto my computer. In this use case, I probably would use the photograph option and take a photograph of this cute little picture. But for this tutorial, I'm doing it like this. So there's the picture that your kid drew that you took a photo of. And you can either add some text to that photograph. So what that does is it gets a text box like this, and then you can say that this is Hyena's drawing. We're safari mad at the moment thanks to Wild Earth. Highly recommend their live safaris, and you can kind of just go and drag it to where you want it to be. Maybe you want it at the top and centered, so you can do that. You can also get your child to leave a little voice note and explain how did they do the drawing, what mediums did they use. Depending on their age, you can get them to reflect and actually talk out a message. You can also then add additional photographs to this. So maybe you want to add a little photograph within a photograph, or you want to do a diagram plus a photograph of a flower, for example. You can add a photo there. So you can get a bit, as you can see, that's a pro feature. I don't really use that. And what I do use is this caption feature that I use quite a lot. So you click on that caption, and you can either add a voice caption there, or you can type in a caption. Okay, and you can maybe get a little bit more descriptive than I have just there. That's all you need to do. And then before we're going to do that, the caption is added. You just click off of the picture, off of the caption. And what you can also do is you can add pages, but then it seems like you can't annotate all of the pages like I just did there and added that if you've got more than one page. So say they do a series of drawings, or like my son at the moment is drawing obsessed, so he would do like 10 drawings in a day, and I might want to put them all together for the day. So you can keep doing that and add in pages, but it's a premium feature if you want to actually annotate it. So what I do on my phone, it seems to be a bit difficult to do it here because it's on the pro feature, but what I do on my phone is when you're uploading a photograph, you don't choose a photograph yet. You say add more. It's right at the bottom, and then you can add multiple photographs. You just then can't annotate them. Okay, I think it's because I've annotated this one. It doesn't want to let me add more. So we're going to click the tick there, and then we're going to say, okay, who is this for? And that's for Hyena. And we are going to then click the check mark, and then I've set up this little folder setup. So I've set up these little subjects, and you can then go and select which one of the subjects this or more of the subjects this little activity links to. So this one is a beautiful arts and crafts thing, and yeah, I mean, maybe there were some life skills built into it, and you can select as you want to. You can also go and create your own folders. So if there are things that you focus in your homeschool, perhaps things like entrepreneurship, or a particular, like, maybe baking and like home crafts, or any interests, read alouds. Obviously I don't have maths there, so you can put in maths. So you can put in your different sort of school subjects, and any kind of focus areas that you focus in on in your homeschool, like a hobby like pottery or something like that you maybe are fostering at a particular time. You could put that in as a focus area, so you could then go and search by this. So that's the point of all of this. So let's, for good measure, go and put in some maths in royal blue, because we all love our maths, and there it appears there. So it's lost my last one, so we'll just take those off, and I'll put life skills for good measure and tick off that. Okay, so now what we'll see is that Hyena has added her beautiful picture, and with the caption then appears at the bottom, you can see what folders and subjects it applies to. And then what you can go and do is you can actually go and search, like, okay, let's go and see the whole class's journal. And that's when you'll see everybody's stuff. Or if you just want to focus in on Hyena's stuff, then it'll focus in there on her drawing. and only her stuff. And then you want to say, okay, let's see what Hyena has done in terms of life skills. And you can click on this folder, go away, click on the folder, and in a minute, when this is finished loading, you can say, all right, I want to only see life skills. And you can see it's searching Hyena and what she's done in life skills. There's her life skills drawing, and there's her washing hands video that we've uploaded. So there we go. And then what is so brilliant, and I don't see this on the phone, is you can print a PDF of that little portfolio. Isn't that nifty? I think that's really cool. Like, so it'll prepare it here, and it'll print that PDF of that particular aspect of her learning. Like, what have you searched? So I'm going to view that PDF, but I'm just going to stop because so there we go, Safari-cast, there's Hyena, and then there's her drawing, and there's her lesson there on hand washing, and just below this you can also see a QR code of to go and actually view this on Seesaw, which is quite cool. So each little activity has a QR code. Okay, so that's just something pretty cool there. If you wanted a, maybe print a monthly review of your kid's portfolio, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit, really. Okay, so that is the journal, and just one more thing, you can also go and view by date. So it's taken us back to class journal here, and you can go and see, okay, what did they do on, the 7th of May and now the 10th of May, and you can go and see, okay, what did you do on those particular dates? So you can go and see, okay, what did somebody do on the 7th of May, and click in there, and then it'll load up the activity, and I assigned it the date, so they went and did that activity. If you want to go and change the date, so say you uploaded something that they did yesterday or that they did several months ago or something like that, you can also go and do that. I'm just going to show you how to do that. You need to get back into this view, and then you can click on these three dots here, and you can either edit the item itself, you can edit the people, so say maybe Hyena and Lion collaborated on this, you could go and edit that. You can edit folders if you forgot to add a subject, and you can edit the date there. So yeah, you can go and edit the date over there and change it to, say, the 8th of May, click it through there, and then you can see it changes the date over there, and it'll change the date and assign it over there as well in that search. So I really like it, very user-friendly and very useful for a homeschool. You can then go and see what you've done each day in a very simple kind of way. So I think that covers everything in the journal side of things. Now what I'm going to do is, before I go on to activities, I'm going to just talk about the actual way you add students and sort of do a bit more of the class management, now that you can just see what we're aiming for here. So when you add students, you can use this plus students button that is begging you to do. I don't know if I've done something wrong. And then you can go and add another student. So you could say add Leopard, your other students, and you can go and click that tick button, and then that gives the QR code for that person to sign in. So I don't really use that sign-in process. I'm just the main person that uploads the stuff in my homeschool. I just take photos of my kids' work. They're young enough at the moment. But if you have older kids who you want to give the independence to upload their own work, then you can use the class app, the class version of Seesaw. All right, so what I'm going to just do is just show you here in the class settings in this cog wrench icon. So you can go and change everything in your class. You can change the name of the class. You can change the grade level. You see, I said it at other. You can add additional teachers. So my husband is on the list of teachers. So if he's teaching the boys, then he'll take photographs of them and upload stuff as another teacher. Then you can also just change the class theme. I thought that was the most safari looking color, but there's a number of colors you can choose from. And then you can change the class icon, or you can also add a photograph of the class. So you can choose from those icons or upload an image. Then the student sign-in mode, which I set up on setup, I've done it with a class code and that they're using one-on-one devices. I'd say that's the best one to choose for a homeschool. Now, manage students. I just want to do this and show you. So I'm going to take off leopard, and you just simply click on that student, and then you remove that student from your class, and you say that's okay. Leopard hasn't done anything yet. And then what I want to do as well is just give Lion a nice little picture. So you can change things there of like, display name. And this is also where you would get their home learning student code. But again, that's if they want to then sign up as a student. I'm going to do a different video about that. But let's go and give Leopard Lion a nice picture of a lion. So you can choose these icons, or again, you can use a photo. So all you need to do is that, and then just go back, and then it saves it, and go back there, and then we're done. Now, what I also might recommend you want to do is to take off the sample students. We don't need the sample students. I don't know. I think it's if you want to test things out. But if you're tired of seeing sample student there, you can take her off there. And I've jumped ahead here, but so yeah, student likes and comments. You can decide here what you want to do. They can't do likes here, but they can do comments, but the comments require approval. That's fine. And then we've got, all right, then don't worry about home learning student codes for this use case, and for the homeschooling use case. And then students can see each other's work. You can decide whether they can or cannot. I just left those settings pretty much as they were. New items require approval. I have just turned that one off because, if you're just keeping it in your family, you don't need to do that. Enable item editing. So I've kept that on. I've disabled the sample students. What you also want to do, well, I think you might want to do if you want Granny and other family members to have access to see the child's portfolio, you can enable family access. And then you can go ahead and invite those families, manage the families, and then once the family member registers, you have to, as the teacher, approve that family member. And then the family likes and commenting, I've enabled those family likes, and I have also enabled comments. It's actually lovely. And I also, so far, trust the grannies, so and even the grandpas. So we're gonna just not have to approve those comments, but you can use your discretion as you feel needed. Otherwise, I just found it was like every comment, and there are a lot of comments, which is wonderful. I would need to approve. So to save yourself some time, you can just let those comments fly. So that's where you would invite the families. And how you do that is you can either send them a QR code, or you can send them an invite link. And yeah, so this is nice. This didn't work quite like this on mine. So you can actually go and invite for each student in your class. Okay, so you can go and put in the email or mobile number of Granny for elephants Granny, hyenas Granny, and so on and so forth. Or you can print invites, or you can share an invite link. Okay, cool. Right, I invited on my phone, so it looked slightly different. So then back to the wrench here, just into class settings, just so I can finish up with that side of things. And so that's the family stuff. You can also have a class blog, but for the littlies, I haven't allowed that. Then this is where you also manage your folders. So if you go and decide, you know, you want to change fine motor to something else, you could do that. You can also go and create more folders, and you can go and delete folders as you need to as well. So just click on that, and you can either remove that folder, you can change its color, you can change what it says in the folder. Okay, so that's the folders. Skills. So as I said, these skills are part of the pro plan, and I found by using the folders you can kind of get the skills. The skills are often linked to sort of national standards and that kind of thing. So if that is something that you'd need, you'd have to upgrade, and then you can save the photographs to your camera roll, which I wouldn't recommend, and then in terms of video quality. Okay, so, and then you can reset the QR code, and you can archive the class over there. So there we go. I'm going to close that off. That was in that wrench. So that's all your background class settings. Often if there is a question, you can find it there. All right, so then you can see Lion's picture we've got nicely. Now I'm just going to show you the activities and how you can use activities in your class. So you can click on activities there. Now Seesaw has got a cool activity library, and you can do your own activities. So you're going to say browse activity library, and you can see there's community and there's my library. So what you can go and do is you can go and have a look at these activities that they've got there already. So perhaps you want to have a look into this cats one, and then you can see, all right, you'll be able to see the grade level. Okay, and what you need to do is you need to like it if you want to assign it. So why do cats purr? That's and they've said 3rd grade. Okay, so say we want to do this, and it gives you all the instructions here, and it gives the learner the instructions, and it's even got some voice instructions here. So if you like this, and even if you like some parts of it and you want to change a few parts, you're going to like it. Once you've liked it, it gets added to your library, and then you can actually assign it. And you can either assign it to the whole class, or you can just assign it to some students in your class. So if this is something that you just want your oldest child to do or your youngest child to do, you can go and edit those students and say, okay, this is only something that we want Elephant to do. And we're going to go and click on that, and then we say assign over there. Okay, so first of all, so this is just saying that the activity is assigned, and it's just also getting us to get the students to sign in to their devices. Now, you don't have to get your kids to sign into devices if you don't want to. You can actually do this yourself. So let's go and have a look at how we do that. So let me also just show you in my library now. That kitty cat activity should be there. There it is there. And you can now go and create your own activity. Over there, you can add voice instructions. You can add multimedia instructions or an example, and you can also add a template that the kids can respond on. So labeling a diagram or circling things on a picture or something like that. So you can do your own activities there, and you can add links to videos and that sort of thing. Okay, so that is. Let me go back now. There we go. Great. Okay, so we've now assigned that activity to Elephant. So let's now go back to the class, and we can see that Elephant has got this. So we're in activities, so we can see what activities have been scheduled, and you can see I don't use this as much as I use the journal. So we can see what's assigned to the class. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you go to activities, and then you can go and add a response on behalf of Elephant. So you go add response, and we're going to do it on behalf of elephants. Okay, so the instruction here is to actually take a photo, make some notes from watching the video, and then you're going to make notes, and then the child has to actually teach about what they've learned about cats. So I'm not going to do a photo, but I'm going to upload a photo. So the child's going to upload the photo of their notes. So let's just, for argument's sake, say that's what the child's notes were all about their cat, and we're going to tick that off. That then opens this here, and then the child needs to click on this audio button to actually talk through what it is that they've learned about cats. So they would click that. I'm just going to, I really don't think that's going to work, so I'm not going to, because I'm recording on this video. So they would click that, and then they would talk about what they've learned about cats. Let me give it a bash. Allow. All right, so this is everything that I have learned about cats, and I'm very excited to share with you. That's the end of my video. And then click pause, and then you can see there's my 8 minutes. It's not a video, it is an audio, and then you can click done. So I'm doing this as the teacher, kind of on behalf of elephants, which is all good. Let's go and have a look at it now. So now it uploads it. And there you can see that Elephant has posted this response to the activity that you set for him. And you can then go and when you click play here, you won't be able to hear it, but I promise you that is me talking and it would be the child actually reflecting on what they've done. What you also might want to go and do is go and see if you can add to a folder. So you can edit folders, and you can say that's for a biology and science lesson, and you can tick on there. Okay, so that is the activities section, but then once the child has done the activity, it appears then in the journal. So you can then actually have a record of everything that's happened in your class, or everything that's happened with Elephant or Hyena or whoever the mouse, whoever the child is. So let's just go and have a look here now. So this is where you can also assign an activity, and you can also send an announcement to the whole class, which I don't really obviously use in homeschool. I can just shout it out. And then this is your inbox. So this is where you'll get notifications like when family members have joined. So here it was, for example, that Lion wants to add an item. So this was from the device that I've set up for Lion, just to test that side of things out. I'm going to do a different video on how to do it if you want your kids to have their own devices to upload their stuff. And then messages. So this is private messages between you and family members. Now, as I mentioned, there's two very different apps. There's Seesaw Class and Seesaw Family. And so the families, the parents, the grandparents in the homeschool environment would be on the Families app, and then they could communicate with the teacher through that app. But the teacher uses the Seesaw Class app. All right, I think that, and then the teacher can also send private messages or like announcements to all families, and this is where you can actually go and invite families from as well. But you can also go and do that in the class settings as well. And then the skills I mentioned is your premium plan, and then also anything to do with your accounts is over here. So you can just go and click that cog, and you can go and change your account settings, like your image. You can go and upload a profile photo, and yeah, there we go. I think that basically covers my use case, as I've said many times, for using Seesaw in my homeschool. And as I mentioned, it just frees me up to be a lot more playful with my kids and just document learning as learning happens. And where I want to. I'll set an activity to get a bit more intentional, but I can also just watch what they do, take their lead, and then take photographs of what it is that they are doing. And again, apologies for this little pop-up. Just going to have to deal with it. I'm sure Seesaw will fix it soon. But it's overall a lovely, lovely app, and I hope this really helps you to document all the wonderful learning that's going on in your homeschool in a very fun and easy